Arya Stark, our favorite tomboy turned faceless man. She really should have had a chance to kill off Cersei, but that's an argument for another day. Today, I'm going to go through her transformation from doe-eyed tomboy to expert assassin. It starts with the very first episode. Arya is supposed to be doing needlework with her sister Sansa. Instead, she sneaks outside and shows up her brother Bran by being better at a bow and arrow than him. Later, her big brother Jon gives her her own sword and she names it Needle. She would go on to carry that same sword for the rest of the series. After she makes it to King's Landing, her father arranges for her to have dance lessons with the first sword of Bravos, Syrio Forel. He goes on to teach Arya the water dance. To improve her skill and agility, he has her chasing cats around the palace. He also teaches her an important lesson about survival.
There is only one God, and his name is death.
And there is only one thing we say to death. Not today.
When her father is injured and the Lannister men come for her, Syrio takes most of them out with a wooden sword and tells her to run. Because of her adventures of chasing cats around the palace, she knows her way around and is able to avoid being caught. She goes to get the sword that Jon gave her and ends up making her first kill. She had to run away with a night's watch in order to get out of the city. Eventually, she gets caught by Lannister men and taken to Harrenhal, where she meets Tywin Lannister. He sees her, knows immediately that she is a girl, and uses her as a cupbearer. He tries to get it out of her that she was highborn, but Arya just pretends that her mother was a servant to a highborn lady and has taught her well. She has a close call with Littlefinger, but makes it out without being found out.
They say he can't be killed.
Do you believe them?
No, my lord. Anyone can be killed.
She is clever enough to get Jaqen H'ghar to help her and her friends escape. Before they part ways, she begs him to teach her what he knows. He tells her that she has to come with him to Bravos to be a faceless man. She reluctantly passes, knowing she must reunite with her family first. She comes in contact with the Brotherhood Without Banners and gets lessons in archery from one.
Never aim.
Never aim.
Your eye knows where it wants the arrow to go. Trust your eye.
It's here that Melisandre prophesies that Arya will shut the eyes of many men. Brown eyes, green eyes, and blue eyes. After this, she gets taken by the Hound so that he can ransom her to her family. Here is where she has her next kills. First, a Lannister soldier bragging on his part of the Red Wedding. Then she and the Hound comes across Rorge, a vicious prisoner that she was originally on her way to the Wall with. She gets her revenge on him. Then she comes across Polliver, who had killed a friend and taken her needle when she and her friends got taken to Harrenhal. She drags the Hound with her and then ends up killing one soldier before reciting Polliver's words back to him before she kills him with the needle. Brienne of Tarth, who was charged by Catelyn Stark to find her daughters, finds Arya with the Hound and tries to get her to come back with her. Brienne and the Hound fights, and Arya runs away. After Brienne leaves the Hound for dead, Arya comes back and steals his money. She goes off to buy passage on a ship to the Wall, but the ship is on its way to Bravos and will not change course. So she uses the iron coin given to her by Jaqen H'ghar to book passage on a ship to Bravos. By this point, her mother and brother are dead. No one really knows where her sister is, and both of her younger brothers are believed to be dead. With less holding her back than before, she decides it's time to become a faceless man. She makes it to the House of Black and White, but has to wait a while before Jaqen comes and brings her in. She goes on to train with Jaqen and the Waif, who, for some unknown reason, is jealous of Arya. Arya does well until she veers off course from her training and kills Meryn Trent. Because she killed someone she wasn't supposed to, and more likely because it was someone connected to her old life as Arya Stark, they take her eyesight away from her. And now she must train with the waif while blind. She learns how to use her blindness to advantage by depending on her other senses. And after taking many beatings by the waif, is able to fight back. Arya is given another chance to kill the right person. But in her efforts to get close enough to kill this person, she gets to know her and warns her of her trouble. Jaqen then sends the waif to kill her, but Arya kills the waif first. Then she confronts Jaqen and tells him that she is Arya Stark of Winterfell, and she is going home. She has learned everything she needed to know, including the fact that she will never be no one. So Arya books passage back on the boat to Westeros, and her first stop is the Twins, where she uses a face she culled from the House of Black and White to trick Walder Frey. First, she feeds him his elder sons baked into a pie, and then she cuts his throat. Then she uses his face to trick all of his family into drinking poison and kills them all in one fell swoop. From there, she goes back to Winterfell and reunites with Sansa and Bran. When there, she trains with Brienne of Tarth, telling her that she wanted to train with the person that beat the Hound. And she manages to win using a move that foreshadows moves she will make much later with the Night King. But the heartfelt reunion only lasts a little while before Littlefinger tries to turn the sisters against each other. Luckily, they're smarter than that, and Sansa, Arya, and Bran teams up against Littlefinger before Arya executes him. The long night comes and Arya is out fighting with the men and kicking ass. After a while, she gets overwhelmed and looks in Winterfell for a place to find peace. But it's overrun with zombies. She encounters Melisandre, who recites Syrio Forel's main lesson back to Arya.
What do we say to the god of death?
Not today.
So Arya leaves safety and ventures out into the God's Wood and kills the Night King. After all her training and everything she has been through, she became the hero of Winterfell. So when everyone heads off to King's Landing for war, she and the Hound heads off to settle separate scores. He must face off with his brother, and she with Cersei, the last name on her list. Although the Hound will get to go down fighting with his brother, he encourages her to go home instead of fighting Cersei. If the falling down building didn't get her, then the dragon would. So they had a heartfelt goodbye before she got caught up in the aftermath. Arya had come a long way from the little girl stealing her brother's thunder. From her water dance lessons, to on-the-job training with the Hound, to her training with the Faceless Men. Even her stint with Tywin Lannister taught her something of being an assassin. She learned a lot and put it to good use. She returned to Winterfell completely different than when she left. And after all those years of wanting to become a knight, she ultimately became an explorer. So that was the evolution of our favorite assassin, Arya Stark. Do you think she should have been given a chance to actually kill Cersei? Let me know in the comments below. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and hit the notification bell to know the next time I upload or go live.